Question. Bạn có ăn thịt chó con? No. Bạn có ăn thịt chó con?
Yes.
Oh yeah? Bạn có ăn thịt chó con?
No.
No. She knows and yes. Bạn có ăn thịt chó con?
No.
No. Okay, well, I did a...
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he didn't understand what I was saying.
But it's a...
Oh, sorry. All right. I thought I had one yes, but we got 4 no's. That was do you eat dog meat, and we got 4 no's here at the barber shop. FYI, if you are in Ho Chi Minh City, come and see me at the bar and barber shop from now to future. You could find that. You could find it on Google Maps. So, yes, in this video, we are going to talk about the Vietnamese eating dog meat. No, I've never tried it. No, I never will. Yes, I think it is disturbing. But yes, we will see a spit roasted version of someone's former furry friend charbroiled to a crispy, caramelized, golden brown. It's something I've got to walk by almost every day here in the neighborhood. So, you know, it's not going to be too graphic, but if it's not something you want to look at, now is your time to get off the train. You can switch the YouTube channel and go and watch one of those Jack and Jill travel videos with the shiny, happy couple that's always smiling in front of monuments and eating fried ice cream and telling you how amazing it is. I don't know how those, I guess when I watch those channels, they do very well. But the guy always looks like a cuckold, you know. He's just doing the equipment carrying and probably all the video editing, and the chick seems to be the one wearing the pants. I feel like, you know, way to go, girl. It's just, she's the one really in charge of the videos and doing her thing, but I just can't help but think I want to grab that guy by the collar and be like, man, handle this bitch. I always feel bad for the guy in the YouTube videos done by those couples. So this is the neighborhood of mine in deep in the alleyways of District 1 in Saigon, and it is very Vietnamese. And this is a neighborhood were you to arrive to Ho Chi Minh City and come straight here from the airport, as many people do. There's a popular hotel and hostel just across the alley from the bar. And many people do arrive. I see them at all hours of the day pulling up in the taxi. And this is their first exposure, you know, post-airport arrival to Vietnam. And it is pretty Vietnamese. And so even though supposedly serving dog meat is illegal or banned to some extent, it still goes on in plain sight. And the first time I was introduced to it was when I just moved into this neighborhood and had some time on my hands. And you know, last year I lived in Chiang Mai. In Chiang Mai, they get the greatest street food in the world. One of the things I love to eat was cow camu. It's a slow roasted pig's trotter, pork leg stew. And I had been walking past this group of restaurants or driving by kind of quickly, and I saw that they had something that looked like slow roasted pork leg in their glass cases where they're, you know, keeping their meat warm. So one day I walked on over here and the place had just kind of opened. So a woman was there by herself, and I was thumbing through the menu very confused. So she sees my confusion and translates, uses Google Translate and shows me the phone. It says, "Do you eat dog?" I was like, oh, hell no. But apparently it is, this is what's happening. And here is you could see This is not pork leg.
Right hard.
This is not pork leg. I've seen some way more graphic versions of that in other YouTube videos online. That's that I kind of glanced at before I shot this, and they were kind of stomach turning. Here's another one. I think they're Xin Chao. Thick call.
Nasty. Dog meat.
Dog meat. What is it? Dog meat?
Dog meat.
Okay, not for me. Yeah, so that's it's like dog sausage. Yeah, so I'm not gonna harp on the dog meat thing for the entire video, but it is a prime example of the culture shock that one might experience when you first come to Vietnam, or at least you've come to live and stay here as an expat or for any kind of extended vacation, and you really have to start dealing with life here beyond the smiley hotel concierge, let's say. So so that was the first time I was exposed to that, is when I went and looked at the menu and the woman showed me what it was on Google Translate. The second time was about a week later, and I was interviewing a Vietnam War veteran. They call it the American War here. But I was interviewing a veteran, and he was driving me back on his motorbike. He's a Southern Vietnamese guy, but he fought with the American side. Anyway, he's driving me back through here, and he slows down on his motorbike and points out those restaurants and says, "Do you know what they sell there?" I said, "Yeah, apparently dog meat." And I asked him, "Do you eat dog meat?" "No," he says, "very disgusting, but not for the reason that you might think." His reasoning was that there's no proper, like, FDA approved dog meat industry here. The dogs that they're serving come from, like, a good percentage of the dogs in the dog meat industry are like old and sick dogs. And so you're basically looking at like a dead cancerous dog in the case there. Another portion of the food supply comes from kidnapped pets. And in fact, I read a profile piece about a Ho Chi Minh City police lieutenant who had made it his mission to try to save all the dogs that were being kidnapped and sold off to the slaughterhouse, the butcher shop. Apparently he's got about 50 some odd dogs now in his care that he has caught, criminals, people working on that black market, stealing dogs off the street and putting them in cages, headed for the slaughter. Well, here's another culture shock that's really inherent in this city and in Illinois. It's like crossing the street. The best way to do it is just sort of like ignorance is bliss. Just walk, and the motorbikes will find their way around you. It's part of a larger culture shock of the driving culture here. It is just horrendous. I mean, no one pays attention to the rules. These motorbikes can fit everywhere, so they're up on sidewalks, they're going the wrong way down a one-way Jersey barricaded street or boulevard, sometimes in the early morning hours without headlights on. I'm just constantly cursing people. It never gets well, yes, you know what I mean? You do it again, just blind faith. It never ceases to amaze me. Every day I'm driving my motorcycle, I think surely I've seen the most idiotic thing for someone to do on a motorbike or a motorcycle. But sure enough, the next day I'm out riding, someone does something even more ridiculous, even more stupid and dangerous. It's bizarre. I haven't looked up the traffic data, but the amount of injuries and broken limbs and deaths from your motorbike accidents here must be off the charts. The other part of the traffic that is really dangerous, I mean, a motorbike collision, or if you were walking and a motorbike collided into you, that would be bad enough. You might break a few limbs as you get lost and spun around. The bigger the vehicle here, the less they're likely to slow down or care if you're flattened on the road. It's a, might has right kind of driving philosophy. And it's a curiosity at first when you get here, like, oh my God, look at the crazy traffic. But when you have to live with it day after day after day, you just start to think, like, how long enough of a timeline do I need before I'm in a really bad accident? Because it is super hazardous. Another, I guess I would call it a culture shock idea. It's really just the weather, but how goddamn hot it is here and humid. It's wet season right now, so it's been raining pretty heavily for about an hour or two every day, which has kind of cooled the city off a little bit. But there's a quote from the book The Quiet American, the famous novel written during or on the heels of the Vietnam War, and by Graham Greene is the author. He says, your shirt turns into a sweat rag straight away, or something like that. And that is true. I go through about 3 changes of clothing on a daily basis. It's something you just have to like. I mean, your whole wardrobe changes. Like I've mentioned it before. This is the only kind of stuff that I can wear. Anything cotton is it just lives in my suitcase, and it's probably never coming out. We are now so the barber shop. That's whatever. Let's see, how long have we been going for? 12 minutes. So it's about a 10 or 12 minute walk away from the backpacker district here, Louisiana Street, and September 23rd Park across the street. This is the part of the city where anything goes, where the police sort of look the other way. It's kind of an unspoken rule that the police look the other way in terms of drugs, prostitution. There was I forgot to mention at the top of the video, I wanted to thank all of you for commenting on the last 2, the video I did about women and about making friends here. And I think the guy's name, his handle was Kev Brown. I pinned his comment on the previous video about making expat friends, and it's worth a read. It's a very good, concise, short summary of life here as an expat, and the fact that this culture is so bizarre and can be very, very irritating. Some of the behavior that's normal here, it's just totally not normal for us in the West. But he had said that, gradually he's just gotten used to things, and he's just gotten used to the strange ways of life here, and wishes that he had taken a different path and moved to Thailand a few years back, which is probably what I'm going to do. I do love this city. It is fascinating and colorful. Xin chào. Hello, you remember me?
I think last time you been here.
Yeah.
You help me today.
No, I can't help you today. Next time. I have no money. I'm a poor YouTuber. Ask these guys to send me money, and what do you say? I'm bullshit? I'm not bullshit.
I mean, want to see?
Oh, but I already have. Look, man, I got my Louis. I got my Louis Vuitton.
Oh, you with me?
Oh, yeah, I buy Benton Louis Vuitton. Oh, yeah, oh, see? Why do you women always after my money?
But you don't do it, but you know what to do.
Yeah, well, I only have money for my bus fare home.
Yeah, naturally, why do it?
That's the Rizzy part of it. But that kind of shit will drive you crazy too until you learn that, you know, it's just not going anywhere. It's never going to stop, particularly here in District 1 and definitely right here on Vietnamese Street. It's just incessant. People trying to sell you all kinds of useless crap that you are never going to need. Even like a super wealthy philanthropic person with a good heart, you know, is used to like giving away their money. They would probably get caught into like helping out all the poor people in need here, selling all this useless shit. At the end of the day, they look at this pile of crap in their hotel room and go, well, what the hell was that? It's a total waste of money. Do not, if you want to, oh no. You could fill suitcases full of the crap that people would sell you just on the street. The sunglasses, the knickknacks, and the fans, and the beads, and, you know, all the crap. Yeah, how many of those fans? There is one guy on the street that kind of has it figured out. Oh, you know what? Well, I don't have my mic on. We walk down here where the party is starting. It's about 6 o'clock, so not quite on volume 11 yet, but I gotta replace my lav mic. So in this video, I'm gonna have to deal with the raw GoPro audio and the Adobe Premiere podcast audio cleanup tool. So all this music that's behind us right now is probably gonna get in the way of you understanding what the hell that had to say. So culture shock. Another one that I wanted to mention is my friend Anthony put it best. He's like, man, Brando, they don't got no love here. So it's like, what do you mean? And he's like, romantic love. They don't understand the notion. I said, yeah, no. That's not a thing here. That's not a thing. It's a place where, you know, they've been through so much war and turmoil, the huge civil war, that it's a place where like there's no crying. I rarely see little kids crying here. If they do, they're getting like a stern whacking from their parents. It's just like crying is not allowed in Vietnam. So like you just take like the sweet and soft half of the emotions you're used to expressing back in the West, and just leave them at home. Like they have no place here. Let me go say hello to my friend Bao. Bao!
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Miss you so much.
Yeah, I'm talking to people about the dog meat that they eat. Yeah, we walked past the dog meat restaurant. I asked them, have you tried it? I know Bao doesn't eat it because he's vegan, vegetarian. So I know. And you have, how many dogs did you have at one point? 20?
10 years, around 30 dogs.
Yeah, okay, 30 dogs.
Come and go.
Yeah. Dogs from the street you save. Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, so Bao's one of the good ones.
Motorcycle. Welcome motorcycle.
Hengap La.
Wednesday.
Huh?
Wednesday,
maybe. I call you. Yeah. Apparently the statistics about that dog meat thing is, as of a 2020 survey, 38% of the Vietnamese population have eaten dog meat. the numbers from our survey today do not support that. I have a feeling the guys at the barber shop knew where my question was coming from, and they were giving me scripted answers. I'm a little suspicious. Yeah, a little bit suspicious. But so out of that 38%, 60% of the respondents to that survey that said they ate dog meat in Hanoi, it was 60% that responded that they consumed dog meat, and only 14% here in Ho Chi Minh City. So it kind of makes sense. I mean, this is like the cosmopolitan cultured version of Vietnam. I've been to Hanoi, and it's pretty old school. I got spit on, FYI, if you're thinking of coming to Vietnam and you are an American, yeah, you might think twice about Hanoi, or just keep your trip there very brief and sort of test the waters. I've been spit on and scowled at. That was the northern Vietnamese side, and they still have a sour memory about the Vietnam War. So yeah, that's not a good one. What else did I want to mention? Called it the statistics about these cultural practices like the dog meat and a couple more balut eggs. That's the boiled egg. That's like a semi or fully formed duck fetus. Burning money and giving Buddha Bud ribbon cans. Those are all cultural practices that have to do with like life vitality, virility, or luck. They're a big belief in luck. Xin chào, xin chào, xin chào, xin chào, xin chào. No, I'm walking. I know you will. Yeah, look out for those guys when you're in Ho Chi Minh City, especially in this area. Every 5 feet. Where you go? Where you go? Where you go? Oh, you want girl? Boom, boom. We'll sell you drugs, pussy, whatever you want. Weed that's like oregano. I mean, they're just, those old motorbike dudes are just totally full of shit. I mean, like half of them do work for Grab. You can legitimately order some of those guys. Like standing right here, there's always Grab guys. There's a bunch of them over here waiting, all the driver services, like legitimate ones you can pay for on an app, but you'll be accosted by the illegitimate old motorbike guy who can't pull together like a license and a telephone to get the Grab job. So they just shout at you, where you go, where you go. So anyway, a lot of the culture here believes in luck. You won't find a 13th floor anywhere in Vietnam, at least not that I'm aware of. And so they, during Tet, the Lunar New Year, they burn money for good luck. Usually it's fake money. Some people actually burn real money. And the Bud ribbon can thing, most homes and most businesses have a shrine to Buddha. And for some reason, at least this year, the Bud ribbon cans were popular. They're like giving Buddha Budweiser ribbon cans. Very bizarre. And the balut eggs, the duck fetus eggs, that's supposed to increase male virility. So young, especially young boys in Hanoi, supposedly eat 2 a day. Like that's a normal thing for a growing boy in Hanoi to eat 2 semi-formed duck fetuses to increase his sperm count. And as is with the dog meat, they call it, it's hot. It's supposed to increase your luck if you've had a bad day. Apparently that's one of the traditions of consuming dog meat, is that if they've had a bad day or had a bad turn of fortune, consuming dog meat is supposed to turn the tides and bring them good luck. And they believe that it's healthy and nutritious. Of course, like everything else in Vietnam, just based on like all the wives' tales and hearsay, nothing to do with medical science or big data. But that's the kind of thing you've got to deal with here. I mean, it's culture shock because it's just shocking that in the modern day in 2024, some of this crap still goes on in a cosmopolitan and cultured city like Saigon, with like big modern skyscrapers and contemporary art galleries, and everyone's got an iPhone. You would think that the rest of the cultural practices would sort of catch up to the Western world, but they don't really. And I don't think they're going anywhere. And you know, I've learned to live with a lot of it, pretty much all of it. The only thing that's going to drive me away from this place are the scandalous women. I think, like I said, I'll end up in Thailand for that reason. But I've learned to live with a lot of this stuff, and I've seen so many expats come here and just pop out of here because these cultural practices drive them nuts, and they just kick and scream against them as if the Vietnamese people as a whole are going to somehow change their ways after like 300 years because some white Western guy came here and stomped his feet and said, no, you can't do that. No, that's just, it's not going to happen. You're not going to come here and change people, not even the close circle of Vietnamese friends you might make. So if you're preparing for expat life in Vietnam, buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be a rough ride. That's about it I got for this video. And I will see you in the next one. If you're just tuning in, or if you've been listening for a while and you haven't, please say hello and drop something in the comments, and I will continue to give you my version of the truth here in Vietnam. Xin chào.